Welcome in. You know, this awakening business, it's a real thing. You know, there are so many beings in the dualistic perspective that are just treating spirituality and awakening as if it's just a business, just like anything. And although it is a business, and you should treat it as a business also, but it's so equally important to do what is right energetically. Because if you're just, it's something about doing what's right. And that is sometimes, no, that is always taking the body into consideration. And actually all of these feelings that you're feeling from the body that you think is sort of, ugh, I don't want to feel that, or you're sort of like brushing off your field and you're cleansing the field. Like, instead of doing that, try and reverse that. And just what you're trying to sort of cleanse yourself from, just invite that in. Just reverse that whole thing. Turn it on its head. Do a 180, not 360. Then you're back at the same place. 180. Okay? So, do a 180, meaning instead of pushing, energies away, what you think is there, instead of pushing that away, allow yourself to just feel that. Allow yourself to feel if someone is like barking, whoa, whoa, like why would someone do that? If they were not a little bit disturbed, or there's some fear or something, distortion. Because that's what that expression is. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's a bark from a dog, or if it's some just bark to control. Like it's all in the sentiment. And that's what getting really good at this feeling game will do. It will get you good at really noticing what's going on, so that you're not so easily swayed. But this is a whole process. We have been so mistrained to just automatically submit our will to a power, not us, not the knower, not the conscious mind, of course not, but the body. Because you can say a lot of stuff, but if you keep caving in from the body, that's what it is. That's what it is, an energetic truth. Energetic truth is the only thing that will lead somewhere here for you as a human being here on this planet. Everything else is just a roller coaster of the mind. And it will sort of seem like that too eventually. Because it's like nothing's changing. Because you're not changing. If you're doing the same thing, expecting different results, that's craziness. That is what crazy truly is. But if someone is talking to themselves alone, that is seen as crazy in the dualistic perspective many places, at the very least. At the very least where I came from, it was like that. I'm pretty sure it's like that for many of you as well. this awakening is there's a lot of power in trying to not allow that to happen, type of thing. But what is that? It's not some arbitrary force. It's just whatever force you've given it. And if you keep giving it, it will keep seeming like this outside force that you have to adhere to. There is a natural flow of well-being that is natural for all sentient beings, human beings, animals. You know, they all have this energy in common. But the intellectual part of a human is, of course, way more advanced than in an animal. But animals do make sense of things. There is a consciousness in there. It's not just a stupid little animal that doesn't know anything. No, it's a consciousness that is trying to learn from its perspective. Everything is that. So if you stop and you talk to an animal, it will feel you. It will feel the resonance it feels with you. And it will feel, it's very simple. Either it gravitates towards you, it likes you, or it doesn't. It wants to be left alone. And Gaia uses animals a lot to send messages of encouragement, of upliftment. So much. Gaia works through all of us. But for a human being to respond from that place, sometimes it's not so easy to determine that. If you are used to operating the body from the dualistic perspective, right? Because then it creates a lot of weird thoughts. We have been there, we know. It's like you're in a maze and you don't even know what's up or down inside of there. And that's if you have just thought yourself into a little quirk and all you're focused on is the thinking. Because everyone else is doing that, so it's just what everyone is doing, so you're just accustomed to that. We're very malleable as humans. The trick is to get conscious. And I after we have sort of seen things, it's like we don't really realize how many people that are still not seeing this stuff. And some people, they're seeing it, but they are still operating as if they're not seeing anything, but they're pretending to see. And that's the integration with the body. And so we didn't realize how many didn't have this connection. Because sometimes it can seem like we were the only one that was out and now we're back in and like everyone is, and no, it's not like that. We are just making sense of more of our sensing faculties. That's really what it is. And that is what this whole system will do to you as well. This 28-day consciousness shift. If you want to join us, all of our 28-day shifters are in and they are doing one audio every day, which is the channeling that corrects the perspective of the human consciousness. And once that is corrected with many different topics, eventually you will be operating in a completely different perspective. And all of the things and the stuff from the body will be fully integrated. Because once you see correctly, then that reflects the body as well. We are teaching energetic truth. And that means that you have to be truthful with what's going on for the body. That's really the thing in all ways of your life. That is the practice, to not be too much operating from the mental plane only. It's important to know how to be there, know how to operate there, knowing what things mean there, so you know what you can ignore, and for that, your body is your best friend. Once you have calibrated, that is. Before that, it can sort of seem like your worst enemy. Oh, I have just thoughts and I can't stop, and I have this and I have that and the other. It can be a lot of stuff. Anxiety, and you can think that it's just who you are. Oh yeah, I am like that. I am just like that. No, that's not truth. The truth is that your body has a lot of habits, and you've been trained into a lot of things that you have adhered to. That's the truth. And then you get to decide now, with new eyes, who do you want to be now? Who are you? What do you stand for? We get that it's important with the having your basic needs met and things like that. It's a little bit tricky to get into trust with the body if that's going on as well. However, it is nevertheless the truth that when you work with the body and you connect with this natural flow of Gaia, learning the cycles, and you're working with the body in a much more natural way, and you're befriending the body, and you start, what happens then is that you start to have a deeper relation with this body. Your body will then show you more things because you care. And those more things, they are intuition. You call it intuition here. It is just more awareness of a body that has more energy, that has operated and calibrated and worked the habits to habit itself in a much more uplifting fashion. There's a lot of discipline as well, but it's discipline when it matters, when it actually benefits the body. It's not discipline just for the sake of, it's not dominance. You see, there's a big difference. It can sort of seem the same in action, but they have such big difference in frequency. One comes from love. The other one is from control. You know? But don't let someone with some force scare you, you know? Because that can be a wonderful thing to awaken people, you know? Spark their buttocks a little bit and just get some fire under their butt, you know? That can be good to be able to do sometimes, but not from an egoic place. This is not something that you do from the mind. If you truly want to be of service here, you have to connect from the body, because it's only from the body you can truly help someone, because you can feel where they're at. And then you adjust accordingly. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for joining the portal community. In there, you get a chance to start for free 28 days of consciousness shift. We have a few options in there, and everyone is working in their own tempo. Like there is no hierarchy here, but not from the logical mind, but there is an order in importance and in where you are on certain things in your frequency. You see? So in that sense, you can interpret, like, let's say that we see something that was in you and we say it to you. You have a choice. You can defend and explain and have stories to back it up. You know, there can be 10 million people agreeing with you, but if it's still inaccurate, all of that stuff doesn't matter. So why we don't want to listen to that, because that's all gibberish, because that's not important, because the energy is crooked. That's all what we care about. So all the stories of why, because, the story of this one and that one, all of that stuff, that is what is the whole purpose of closing off all of the past stuff. And when you've closed off a lot of the past stuff, that is, by the way, what is going on really in depth in the holistic optimizer part of inside of the portal. By the way, once you're finished with that, then you start to, there at one point you might have smaller ones as you're awakening, but there will be one really big one, or a few really big ones that stand out when you do them. And that is these moments where you bick into non-dualism in your default, as your default for a time. You know, like even just for a couple of hours can sometimes be magical, because that is when we have practiced enough of this balance and we're steering the ship always. And sometimes there are these moments of just pure alignment where just God is coming through you. You know that this whole energy is just lighting up. You can feel that your heart is burning inside, and you know it's because of your energy and what you've practiced. And so if you wish to join with us, join us up in frequency. And we said it before, we're saying it again, we are waiting for your dancing. There is a Gaia challenge in the link where you get to practice doing something that maybe is a little bit silly, maybe it's a little bit like, or the body is like, I don't even, well, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, it's all these excuses. Maybe tomorrow, but maybe, how about you just choose something different today? How about when this video is finished, you just flip up your phone, you press play on the song, and then you set up the camera and you point it to you, right? And then so you can see, and then you just press record, and then you just start doing something goofy. Just do something goofy, or whatever you feel. You can go, you can do a few trial runs. You can even practice saying to yourself, I'm not going to post that, but I'm going to record it, and then we will see. That's a way to talk yourself into it, and then once you've recorded it, then you can now that we recorded, it was actually quite cool. And then maybe you can cut it a little bit if you feel like some part is like, it's okay to do a little bit like that. Or you can be bold, you can go, look, this is it, this is who I am, this is who I was exactly in this moment, here you go, done. Think nothing of it other than I did it. I shaked my booty on camera and I sent it. And it felt good to do that. Just because you're doing something that's a little bit different, a little bit exciting. And if you want to, you know, you set your own level here of what you want to do. Like if you're used to dancing, okay, what's your next level? Is it to, you know, it's your creativity and it's your life and it's your body. Play with it. Do different things with it. That's fun. All right. I'm looking forward to your video. Take care. Ciao.